let me show you some additional things that I have either got to know of or figured out, or some of additional opinions how the product could be better as well. So when I received the machine, I asked around what are those blind plugs for, but this is quite easy answer actually. If this machine would be carried through those holes, then, and those metal elements are punched out, then later on you can fill them with the plastic plugs again. So that's what they're for. So someone in the comments suggested that those special washers are for the scoring plate mechanism. I really don't know if there are. Maybe they are. So at the moment this is the best and only answer provided. So maybe this is for that. What I want to show you inside of the machine. First, let's speak a little bit about the dust or chip extraction assembly. It's not very well designed. It still creates a lot of dust and debris inside of the machine. The stuff is everywhere, and I have only used it with quite powerful dust extraction machine, so at least everything that falls into the machine should be sucked out. But there is a lot of dust in here. I have already cleaned up most of it with vacuum cleaner, but still it's not a very airtight compartment and could be way better. What else I'm not a big fan of is that the machine has a main dust output port in that side of the machine, and as you can see, at least in my uses or configuration, I immediately need to redirect this hose 90 degrees away, and this is not very efficient, I'd say. I would prefer if there would be more than one extraction points. Of course you can only use one at a time, but how easy it would be if there would be a second outlet in the other side of the machine, and user could simply decide to which output port to connect the hose. How easy it would be, but maybe it's a product development idea for SCM. What else? I told you that I have a separate video on measuring the arbor mechanism runout. But what I didn't mention there is that one thing that I don't like about the motor assembly is that there are already some abuse marks in here. The saw blade itself is resting on two surfaces. It's resting on this edge in here with the blade opening, and the blade mostly is in contact with the side. So all these surfaces in here is very important for the good blade contact, and so the blade itself wouldn't wobble and run out. But I don't see if you can notice, but there are a lot of nicks in here in the side. The motor itself seems to be very good quality and is assembled well, and but whoever has moved around the pre-assembled motor mechanism hasn't had any respect to the motor itself, so it's nicked all the way around, which means that each time there is such a nick in here, it brings some of the material out as well, so the base surface can't be 100% flat anymore, which means that the blade itself is affected by that. So maybe I need to file those down a little bit. Maybe these create some error in the blade run. I don't know. What else? yeah, one thing that I discovered too late, let's say, is that time to time you run into the problem that you want to lower this console arm so low that the handle itself is going into contact with the for example, this sliding mechanism, and the same type of handles are all around with the machine. But what I didn't understand, and the same actually goes to this blade cover mechanism. There is the same type of handle. Actually, it can be pulled. There is like a spring mechanism in here. So when you pull it back a little bit, then it's like a clutch. Now it's opened. You can do whatever you want and let it back in new position and continue. So I didn't know about that, but it's quite smart and useful. So maybe some of you find it useful as well. Very nice handles, actually. What else? Maybe one more important, the last impression is that I really don't like the location of the turn on and turn off switches. These are in uncomfortable and even in dangerous location, because each time I want to start the machine, I have already installed all the material and etc. Blade is already out, and now what I need to do is that I need to come in front of the machine, stay on the same line with the blade, reach down, which is very uncomfortable, and switch the machine on. If something should happen, something should fly away, then I'm in a direct location with whatever could happen. So I'm in the worst position possible to get injured. I don't understand why those buttons couldn't be on this side, or with more advanced machines you have it on the blade, not on the blade but on the sliding mechanism. So this is totally nonsense location, which is dangerous. I probably will move those switches around somewhere in that side. And also what I don't understand is the meaning of this lever in here. Maybe it should lock the ability to raise or lower the saw blade with this wheel. I haven't made any adjustments to that regarding to the factory setting, but even if I fasten it totally, it doesn't prevent me lowering or lifting the saw blade or doing whatever this mechanism is doing. So I don't see the point. It doesn't even increase the resistance of the wheel. So I don't know if I'm understanding the role of it wrongly, or is it once again something that is totally wrongly adjusted and user should finish the product.